This video is entitled Standard Takeoff Toolbar Special Item Utility. The next button on the toolbar will display the special item utility. We use special items in an estimate for many different reasons. Initially, it was to add an item to an estimate that could not be found in the standard takeoff. Now it has evolved into a very powerful tool that can not only create a single special item with labor and material values, but now you can create a very sophisticated job assembly as well. To create a new special, click the Special Item button to display the special item utility. The module will open the special item utility displaying the Create New Special fields. If you are not intending to create a new special, click the Cancel button. Otherwise, proceed as follows. The special item number will normally be populated with the next special item number available. If needed, the special item number can be changed to any number that has not been previously used. The cursor will be flashing in the description field, so enter a name to associate to the special. The field will hold a maximum of 29 characters. The material list field is used to assign a special to one of the three material types that are available: rough, trim, or other. So we choose one of the three. If you are building a number of specials, the program will remember what you last selected. The account number field is used to attach an account code to the special item. Select an account code by clicking on the arrow and choose any item from the list. The list has an incremental search built into it, so entering a single letter will take you to the items that start with the letter entered. The job assembly checkbox will designate whether the item is simply a special item or a bid assembly. If a user is simply trying to declare an item and assign some material cost and labor hours, then he would normally leave the box unchecked. However, if his intention is to create an assembly consisting of many parts, then he would be creating a job assembly and designate it as such. If you forget to check this box and then add a group of parts to the special, the program will only add the special to the takeoff and not the attached parts. This can be remedied for new entries to an estimate by checking the box after the fact. However, it will not affect any specials that were already added to the estimate while the box was unchecked. If you have created a whole series of specials and then decide to add parts to some special, you can return to the special item utility, select the item, and check the job assembly box, and then add parts. This action will not affect any special that have already been added to an estimate. It will only be used on specials that will be added from this point forward. The labor hours and material cost fields are used to assign man hours and material costs to the item being created. If a user is just trying to cover the costs and the hours for the item being created, then we entered values for each. However, if he's creating a job assembly, then he might leave it blank and let the parts that he adds to the job assembly generate the labor hours and material cost. Either way, the choice is yours. The Close button will collapse the new special item form. The Cancel button can be used to close the Create New Special in the event that the intention was not to create a new special. Once the special item has been created, the user can send the item to an estimate to continue estimating, or he may build a job assembly. If he wishes to continue to the estimating system, he may have two choices. Send to Estimate. The Send to Estimate button will only appear if a user has not declared a scaling device of any type. The intention here is to allow a user to maintain the special item utility displayed so that other items can be created and used. Send to Estimate and Close. The Send to Estimate and Close button will always be displayed. Its actions are self-explanatory, so in that it will send the selected special to the estimate and close the utility. In either event, the program will send the selected item to the estimate and put the cursor in the quantity field, waiting for the program to enter a quantity using the keyboard or any of the supported scaling devices. The Fill Target button is used to select a different item in the job assembly to act as the target of any fill items. When adding items to a job assembly, the program attempts to anticipate a user's needs by selecting the size and quantity based on the fill target. So if, for example, a fill group contains 2 and 3 inch conduit and 2 inch was selected first, the program will always assume the item being filled is 2 inches in size. The Change Fill Target button gives the estimator a tool that can be used to change the item being filled so that the components that are corresponded to this size being filled. We will add some 2 inch conduit here to demonstrate this. 2 inch EMT, we'll add 100 feet of it. And then we'll add some EMT conduit, we'll add some 3 inch EMT conduit. And we'll add 125 feet of it. And we'll close this up and close this. And we're going to use this as our fill target, so we say fill target. Now we go back into the parts and assemblies and we go to the menu and we select, let's go to the E's, the EMT autofill, and we select EMT coupling. The program automatically added 10 2-inch couplings to it. So if I wanted to add the couplings for the 3 inch, I could select it here and then put in a quantity myself, or I could change the fill target. So let's just to demonstrate changing the fill target. If I change the fill target to this item, and I go parts and assemblies again, I go back to my menu list and I go to the EMT autofill menu. For one item, it's not worth doing it, but this is just to demonstrate how it works. So it put 12.5 3 inch EMT conduits in it. So if you had a large group of items, it's convenient to have. The final button on the close button on this form simply closes the form and returns you to the estimate. The print button will print the special item list for the current project. A job or bid assembly is a special item that has been created by an estimator to complete a particular task. Many times it is simple as the parts that are needed to install a light fixture, or it can be as complex as all the outlets, switches, conduit, and wire that are needed to complete the branch takeoff for a hotel room. Parts can be added from the parts file, or they can be imported from an assembly, or they can be imported from another special item. It is important to note that if the items are added after the special has been added to the takeoff, the program will not change the items that are in the estimate already. We've already demonstrated the procedure for adding specials, but I'll review them. What we're doing is we're clicking add parts and specials and assemblies. We select the group, the item that we are trying to add. Let's add an outlet. We'll select a 20 amp GFI. If you click it, it asks me for a quantity. I can add any quantity to this item, and it will add all the components to my special. I can also use the data fill search to go into the parts file and find a particular part. Let's just, for example, I wanted a Madison clip for some reason. I click on that, it gives me for a quantity. I add it, it's added behind me. If I wanted to add a special to it, I could add some other from the special list. I could go to any special, add that whole special to the special. So there's a lot of different areas where I can add items to it. I can use the menu list to select menus to add to a component. And we'll just put 2 of those in there. So you can see that we can build it as big as we want. We use the close button on the menu form to return to the special item. You can also add parts to a special by using the parts assembly. Modifying a job assembly. In modifying a job assembly, we have methods to modify it in various different ways. We can change the labor level. If I click on labor level, I can change the labor level for the selected item for all the items in the special. I've just changed all my labor levels to 1. I can change my labor column to standard for all items. I can change my material column to standard for all items or for a selected item. Let's go put them back the way they were supposed to be. I'll leave that at level 1. That's fine. We're going to put my labor column back to labor all items. Say OK. And it will stay that way for the period of this job, where this becomes part of this job, and it will stay this way forever. The LX column allows me to apply a labor multiplier to an item. I just applied the labor multiplier, took the labor off of the red Scotch locks or any of the items. The MX column allows me to add a material multiplier to the material column. So I now have a material column, and they'll be designated by different color cells for those items that have different colors. Sending the item to an estimate or closing it, I'm going to use this function. When I send it to the estimate, I can send a different quantity, and it will proportionally change all the quantities for all the items in the estimate. This concludes the special item video.